By the end of the lifespan of most people watching this video, the majority of capital cities in Europe will be governed in the mainspring by African and Arab nationals. London, Paris, Vienna, Marseille. Each has suffered in less than one generation an ethnocide so rapid and complete that were it presented before The Hague, would likely meet the standard for genocide. We speak of vanishing cultures as if such vanishing were a natural process for which no one were responsible. The customary sequence of time and progress that comes at last to all civilizations. But only a tiny fraction of the mass settlement on European soil this past decade has been an organic development. For the most part, the forced importation of a hostile and predatory fifth column has been a deliberate and strategic campaign against the express wishes of the citizenry, a crisis brought about by the cataclysmic union of Islamo-Bolshevism, a barbaric death cult, and a fanatic, Soviet-styled war machine, each the other's equal in greed and militant orthodoxy. This alliance works openly and unashamedly for the irreversible colonization of our continent. As one conquers by rapine and violence, the other snaps at its heels, silencing critics and ridiculing victims. So that now, through the mandatory assimilation of antithetical groups, the majority of Austrians under the age of 15 will be Muslim by the middle of the century. This grand social reconstruction is not confined to Europe, but has also strong-armed its way into America, Canada, and Australia, who likewise suffer the indignity of forced communitarianism, bullied into abdicating their territory and handing over the customs and institutions achieved through centuries of nurturing effort, inheritance, and sacrifice. Despite openly documenting our contempt for this project, we have been written off as relics of the past, even as our pulse beats. The demographics of Europe now are such that we will become an Islamic continent within the century. The point of prevention has passed. The numbers are simply too high. Even if every boat was stopped, and a total moratorium placed on all immigration, no difference would be made to the monumental transfer from European ownership to Arab. Without even knowing it, Europe has found herself colonized. The Great Resettlement process is complete. The consolidation process successfully underway. This information isn't shared to frighten or distress, but because it remains the one urgent truth yet to penetrate the public consciousness. And until there is a widespread and mainstream comprehension of this fact, we cannot go forward to make choices to preserve our fate. This is no longer a matter of left-wing or right-wing. It is a matter of being for replacement or against it. The terms on which you do so are yours to decide. Being a nationalist is, first and foremost, a love of home, and it can be done without Spitfires and bulldogs. It doesn't need to be screamed, wild-eyed and red-faced, from some pulpit of fire and fury. It could be the nationalism of Tennyson, breathing life into Arthurian legend. The nationalism of Wordsworth, as a lover of the meadows and the woods. Not just the values and institutions, but the material assets of our collective inheritance, the books and paintings, Shakespeare's first folio, the Lindisfarne Gospels. These are the epitaphs of cultural memory that beg no political alignment, no aggressive or militant jingoism, just the simple bond of affection that comes with the love of home. How we choose to act now will influence the destiny of our common future, and it is only in ancestral solidarity that we will see this mammoth inversion of the social order nullified. This future begs serious contemplation, but there is nothing these genocidal agitators would like more than for us to conclude it is already happening, so we cannot do anything against it. There is no reason that non-native immigrants, who respect our right to prosper in security and freedom as the chief authority in our homeland, as is the birthright of all peoples, should find quarrel with this statement. Dostoevsky once said that the worst thing a human being could do is to sacrifice his God-given soul for human dogma. What will you do with yours?